People generally at the end of the first week are feeling 100% normal.
Hi, this is David Dutton from HoustonWeightLossDoctor.com. This is another episode of the Houston Weight Loss Podcast. I'm on the phone with Dr. Clifton Thomas, Houston's most respected bariatric surgeon. And today we're going to talk about what happens after the surgery. What is it like? What can you expect? What's your life going to be like? And just going to get his thoughts from talking to patients after the surgery, and just what people can expect maybe the first 30 days and the first 90 days, that type of thing. So, Dr. Thomas, are you there?
Hello, David.
Awesome. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm always excited. I always learn something on every single call. Last episode, we talked about how people actually travel to get weight loss surgery done, and I didn't even know that even existed. That's interesting. I figured everybody went local, so I'm always excited about these podcasts. As I talked about in the introduction, what I want to talk about today is what happens after the surgery. The scenario is someone came into your office, they did the consultation, they went through whatever procedure that was best for them, and now they've got their new life now of being skinny. And so I want to know kind of what someone can expect, say, like the first 30 days. Okay, let's just talk about that. What are some of the things that go on? What are some of the things that people need to know about?
Great, David. Before I start talking about what happens the first 30 days, I want to emphasize the part that patients are really looking for and what's life like after surgery, and it's their bodies changing in lots and lots of ways that helps them feel like they can go out and play with their kids and grandkids, that they sleep better at night and get more oxygen because their sleep apnea is gone, so they wake up feeling more rested and ready to tackle the day. And they're able to fit into the clothes and buckle their seatbelt and cross their legs and so many things that makes their day-to-day life better. So that's really what life is like after surgery. But there is a process, and the process starts with the initial phase of just getting over surgery, which, because we do these operations laparoscopically, that part's pretty fast. People generally at the end of the first week are feeling 100% normal. And in some ways better because they've already lost some water weight that's uncomfortable. So they do have to go through a phase that takes, with the gastric bypass and the sleeve gastrectomy and the lap band, on their eating. And for the first really month or so, it's just really adjusting to the operation. And so that first phase, they basically start on liquids and then advance to very soft food like watered-down mashed potatoes, but then soft food that requires chewing, and then pretty much regular food, but it needs to be moist, chewable food. And generally at that point, they're somewhere around a month or so after the operation. They, at that point and soon after that, they're going to get to the volume of food that's going to really be where we want them to stay for life, which is generally a child-sized plate of food, 4 to 6 ounces. And that amount of food should keep them full and satisfied for about 4 hours. But what they will notice, the key thing that they're going to notice is these very specific things that change in their day-to-day life, which are just, an emotional event for them to feel that and notice it and see how it's better.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I think about that a lot because, it's like your thoughts and your emotions kind of dictate your actions. How long have you been doing these procedures?
So I started doing the laparoscopic gastric bypass in 2000. So 11 years, kind of moved into the lap band 2002, started doing the sleeve gastrectomy 2007.
Okay.
So, and I do a combination of all three, but primarily the gastric bypass and sleeve gastrectomy these days.
Okay. That emotional feeling that people get, can you describe that? And I'm talking about that, the response that people are getting in your office. You meet with people every day, and they've have these great success stories. Can you just talk about just some of the things that they say to you and some of the things that they are feeling emotionally?
I do, and it's just incredible fun because I more recently learned that it's really important to go from some kind of abstract thing like I just feel better, my life is better, to something specific. And so whenever I push patients, I say, but I understand your life's better, but tell me really specifically what's better. And that's when they just light up like a Christmas tree. And, for example, the lady is in the office yesterday afternoon. Her thing was being able to cross both of her legs and put them in the chair. And she did it, and when she did it, she lit up like a Christmas tree. And I turned to her husband and I said, did you see that? Did you see how she lit up like that? Because she can do this thing that she couldn't do before. Wow. And it's really amazing to see and experience. But it really comes down, it's so interesting to get that lit up emotion. You have to get on to say exactly what's changed. Like one lady said, I could go to Victoria's Secret and buy a bra off the rack, and she just lit up by the fact that she could do that now. Yeah,
that's cool. That's the answers that I always tell people when I'm working with them in my own business about, don't give me the surface answer. Give me the real world, what are you thinking about in your heart of hearts answer. And that's cool. They want to go to Victoria's Secret. They want to cross their legs. They want to, walk around their child or, grandchild's the ballpark, while they're playing a baseball game or whatever it is, and not, be out of breath and different things like that.
So, unfortunately, as doctors, we like to focus on the medical benefits, which really are unparalleled in recent times on how we get people off bottles and bottles of medicine and resolve diabetes and hypertension and hyperlipidemia and sleep apnea, and it goes on and on. But really, what the patients like is being able to go to Victoria's Secret and buy a bra off the rack and just feel better.
So what happens after, say, the first month? What are some of the things that people experience after surgery?
Well, they do experience the emotion of thinking, I'm afraid it's not going to work for me, because they'll lose weight, hit a little plateau, lose weight, and it's just the way our body is readjusting, and it really doesn't have much to do with what's going on with them. But they do have a lot of self-doubt. They tend to get on the scales and weigh a lot, and I ask them not to because I think it gives them more bad information than good information, because it's really just reflecting their water balance and not really how they're losing weight. They should pay more attention to how their clothes fit and change, things like that. So they're going through those kinds of things. And generally they march through the year. Again, with the gastric bypass and sleeve gastrectomy, it kind of drives you to want to follow these eating rules that we want patients to follow for long-term success. It's really the time. That's the main thing they need to focus on is, I have this operation. It's nothing more than a tool to help me do what I need to do. It's pretty easy right now. I need to establish those habits so they'll be with me 10 and 20 years from now.
Oh, that's good. Dr. Thomas, thank you so much. This has been a phenomenal episode. This is some great stuff. And, you're doing a lot of great things, helping people shop at Victoria's Secret. Of course, that's what they want, and cross their legs, and a lot of other good stuff. But thank you so much for doing the podcast for this week. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.